Flight boss, bitch, you know for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Pisces Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about Kendrick Lamar, little Zodiac will right now. Now, I don't want to go too far into it, so I just like to stop at the sun and the moon. But apparently, right now, Astro Theme got Kendrick Lamar's actual hour that he was born. So they kind of got the ascendant on there also. So we're going to calculate, we're going to characterize Kendrick Lamar as a whole right now. Now before we get into anything, we got to know how to separate the three important, which is the sun, moon, and the ascendant. The sun is your actions, the way you act and how you see things. Your moon is who you are, your reactions, your emotional response to things, and what makes you emotionally comfortable in this lifetime that you're in right now. And your ascendant is your personality, personal issues, and your personal affairs, which ultimately is the personal people, places, and things in your life. Now let's get into Kendrick Lamar. Now his sun is in Gemini, 26 degrees Gemini. His moon is in 19 degrees Pisces. His ascendant is in 23 degrees Libra. So off the bat, now we're dealing with a air activated person right here. That feels comfortable with soaking in their emotions and feelings, but feel comfortable with relating to other people's emotional stance on things and how other people feel. Now, before we get in and dive in deep, let's go into the sun. Now, his sun, the actions, the way he acts and how he see things, is immutable air, which is Gemini. So Gemini is mutable air, being mutable or being able to adapt to his own or other people's ways of thinking and communicating. So not only does he have his own thoughts and his own ways of thinking, but he's thinking about the way you think. He's thinking about the way you analyze. He's peeping out the way you communicate and coming up and obsessing and sizing you up in that way. So that's where his actions go to. That's how, because the sun is your actions, vitality, your energy, your ego. So that's how he see himself. That's how he see things. He see things that's dealing with communication, social things that's dealing with awareness, being consciously aware of what's in front of you, being able to breathe. Now if you even look at air itself, air consumes the air. There's no air in space, but air can go as high as the sky. So fire can go into space, water can go into space, but a lot of times air have to stop at the surface. So it got all these ideas about what's outside of it, but it's consumed everything that is within the globe. So air signs have a lot of ideas and they know a lot about everything that's around you. So a lot of times they know what's in front of you, what's on the side of you, and they know what's behind you. And we talking about circumstances and situations and when people are in, a lot of times, like an air sign can help a fire sign when they can see a fire sign. They see the fire line. Say like you light a cocktail or something like that. You light it on fire and you see the line going down the street. You can actually see where that fire line is going. But see, the air sign have to carry it. So the air sign know where the fire is leading and know where the fire can go and know what it needs to do to blow the fire another way to stop it. So it's like it play out through humans as far as situations and circumstances. Air is in H2O. So water, air know how to wave water in certain situations, aka wave people's emotions and feelings with their words and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? And it's dealing, and a lot of times it just blow up against Earth. So it's better reliable with Virgos, because Virgos is mutable Earth and it's ruled by Mercury also. So that's like light Earth. That's like Earth that you can move around, things of that nature, that you can pick up this light. You can float, you can pedal rocket over the water, skip rocket and things of that nature, and the air can blow the dust particles and things of that nature. But an air going against a building, that's like Taurus, or air trying to stop a person from drawing the archetype of a building, that's like Capricorn. So it may have a little confusion when it's dealing with a Taurus or a Capricorn, but that's here or there for another story. But when we talk about him as a whole, he likes to think for himself and see how other people think in forms of communicating and how people socially are. So a lot of times where he at is not even where you at. A lot of times he may be listening to what you saying, but a lot of times he may be peeping out the information and constructing how you are in your social environment. So he may size you up like that. You see what I'm saying? And when we come to his moon being in Pisces, that's a square. Now anytime there's a square is when there's a learning process coming in. Anytime there's a square between two planets, it's a learning process. So a lot of times his moon and his sun, they have a lot to learn from each other. So a lot of times he may feel uncomfortable with a lot of actions or a lot of things that he may see himself doing. He may feel uncomfortable and held back with doing that a lot of times, and vice versa. Who he is and things he may react to and things that he feel comfortable with, a lot of times he may not choose to act on those things or express those things to others. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like a little doubt there, a little sense. He have to learn how to apply both natures together so it can play out in different ways. But with the age, it always gets better and better. But for the most part, he has his moon in Pisces. Now with the moon being in Pisces, he could, when he walk into a room, he can emotionally pick up the vibe now. You know what I'm saying? So this a lot of times with the square between the sun and the moon conflict a lot of times, because a lot of times his thoughts may get conflicted with his feelings. A lot of times his feelings may get conflicted with his thoughts. So he may be in a lot of situations where he thought it was that way, but the vibe was different. Then he might have been in a lot of situations where he thought the vibe was this way, but he thought differently. So something else happened. So that's like the molecule, how situations could play out when your sun and moon are squaring each other. But for the most part, we're going to talk about his moon being in Pisces. Now, the moon is your reactions, is who he is. So he's automatically receptive. A lot of times he's passive to a lot of things because he's in a realm where he has to act on a lot of things that's not in this reality to be seen as external. So he's being external in an internal realm. So when you're when you're external in an internal realm, you're in a yin realm. So a lot of times you're too busy fighting with things before you even have to fight with things in reality. So a lot of times you be passive to a lot of bullshit that's in front of you, that's external, that's outside of you, that like a person, place, or thing. A lot of times you can be passive to a lot of this shit. Now that don't mean to say someone passive to altercations or negativity or things of that nature, but it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? It could be just something like a person who may come around to him all the time, and this person may be hated by everybody else. He could be passive to certain characteristics of this person than others can. He know how to relate to this person because he know how to relate more to the emotions and feelings because of his moon being in Pisces. So he can pick up vibrations and know how to be more, go with the wave more and be more relaxed. Because if you want to look at the water signs, the Pisces would be like the ocean view that's settled. Everything is just settled, going with the flow. Everything going with the flow at ease, surface level, right? Scorpio's deep underneath the water. You know what I'm saying? Like a heavy something drug underneath the water. It needs to be, or a piece of ice on the water or something like that. You see what I'm saying? That's frozen in one spot. It's still a part of the water, but it got its own frozen, suffocated spot. Like all the fixed signs got their old suffocated spot. You know what I'm saying? Then you look at Cancer. Cancer is the wave, the ocean flow, the wave, the river fall, the extremeness, because it's cardinal, so it's a splash. You see what I'm saying? And you can do this with all elements. But when it comes to his moon is in relativeness, connectiveness, collective consciousness. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times he get to pick up and receive, and he can build and make music or pick up vibes based upon another person's energy, based upon that person's story, that person's life. And he can make a song like it's a song of his own. You know what I'm saying? And that song will be able to appeal to a lot of others. But it doesn't even necessarily just deal with a song. He's just talented enough to be into music right now. But it's just words in general. So if you're a Gemini with a Pisces moon, all of y'all can do this. All y'all have the power of words and being able to use the words to strike an emotion and feeling, and being able to use the words to express what's creatively going on in your imagination. And when the moon is in Pisces, the imagination and illusion is broad. So a lot of times these people have to make sure they're not into drugs, and make sure they're not into things that carry their illusion too far. You know what I'm saying? Now, getting into his ascendant. His ascendant is in Libra, so his personality is also relativeness. Highly relatable. And he likes to judge things, you know what I'm saying? But he likes to judge things and look at both sides of things. So this adds on to his actions and his reactions, because this is character, this is personality. And it's a trine with the sun. Anytime we got a trine, that's a gift. So when we talk about a gift is something that you naturally have. You just have to get up off your ass and do it, but you naturally have it. So he has an air gift right here. So we have a mutable and cardinal air gift. Cardinal is initiating, creating new ways of things, and it's an air, which is Libra. So it's initiating and creating new ways of how to think and communicate. So he's utilizing that as his personality, right? So he has the gift of communicating. He has the gift of knowing how you communicate by the way you think, by the way you analyze. He has the gift of seeing how the world communicates. And with the moon being in Pisces, he understands the vibe of the vibrations that you're supposed to jump in. So frequency, hertz, vibrations, and the right tones and right pitches and the right words to say to put together for everything to come together complete. And that makes the musical genius of Kendrick Lamar. But for the most part, he just a regular nigga that's good with motherfucking words, who think too goddamn much on his off days. Flight boss bitch, you know, for sure, goddamn. And he got a bright imagination. Air.